This week's talk is called Be a Warrior. And to be honest, I got inspired by this talk from listening to Joel Osteen. He was talking about being a warrior. And as I listened to him, even though he frames his talks in the coming to Jesus way, what he says is so new thought and so inspiring that it lifted me up in a moment that I needed it. So I wanted now to share that with you. So the idea is that within us is a power greater than ourselves. Something larger than us that lifts us up. A warrior is not someone who goes around and thinks they're doing everything themselves, slashing their way through life. That is not a true warrior. A true warrior stands in the stillness, the knowing, the faith, the trust that every movement is guided by this higher force and that every movement is guided for good. A true warrior never gives up, never gives in, but surrenders to this higher force to allow it to guide it to a greater way of being in the world. So when we are confronted by those things in life that seem overwhelming, illness, death, loss of money, loss of job, loss of home, instead of going to that place of, oh no, go to that place of knowing that there is this larger force within you, without you, that is in and of everything. In our treatment today by our practitioner, in our treatment every day by every practitioner in the science of mind movement, we begin it with the knowing, the knowledge that everything is one. Everything is of this being. You know, Joel Osteen calls this being the Lord, Father, Jesus. We call this being oneness, spirit. Whatever you call it, it is in everything, has created all of it, permeates it all. And a true warrior remembers this in the moment he needs it most. Ernest Holmes, one of my favorite Ernest Holmes quotes is, if you forget in your hour of need the truth, to forget the truth in your hour of need is to not understand the truth. In our hour of need is when we need to remember most that there is only one. And because there is only one, we are of this one. We are larger than ourselves. We are more than ourselves. And so when circumstances look like they feel overwhelming, whether they be teenagers or illness or job loss or whatever it is, these are the moments to remember most that we are not alone. That's why we've named this center for what it is, the Yana Center for Spiritual Living. Because Yana stands for you are not alone. None of us are, ever. Ever. And a true warrior remembers that when they need to remember it most. And so in those moments when you need to remember that most, remember that you have more strength, more power than you could ever possibly imagine. The power of the universe is within you when you need it most. When things look their bleakest. A warrior never stays down, never gives in, but does surrender to this higher force. So Joel told the story of doing weightlifting on a bench alone, and he got stuck with the weight crushing his chest. And in that moment talked about how he knew he wasn't ready to die, though if he did not act quickly, he would. And so he reached within for a force that was greater than what he thought he had, and slowly but surely inched that weight off of him. There was something in the paper about a man who went up to a car and ripped off the door, a burning car, and ripped off the door to save that person within it in the midst of flames. A normal man, and asked afterwards, how did he do that? He said he didn't know. But we know. We know there is a greater power going on all the time that we need to trust, have faith in, and live by. That's being the warrior. You have a dream. Whatever it is, you have a dream. It may seem so large and overwhelming, but remember, there is nothing larger than God. There is nothing larger than this force within. It doesn't matter how crazy that dream may seem. It's yours, and you would not have that dream if it wasn't meant for you to fulfill it. None of us are given dreams that we don't have the resources to fulfill. I have found that in my life time and time and time again, where I approach something where at first I don't have a clue. But it is only through my knowing, my trust, my faith in this larger beingness that I am a part of, that is a part of me, that I know that not having a clue is no reason not to do it. It's simply the place I start from and then grow from there. This is the power of being the warrior. This is the power that you have within you. Never give up. Never give in. But surrender to this higher power so that it can work with you, through you, and bring your dreams to come true. I love you. Thank you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.